Hey guys, this is Dan with Gears and Gadgets. Thanks for tuning in. Let's talk about the new 2025 RZR. So as this video is dropping, there's a whole bunch of new information coming out on these new RZR Pro models, and there's actually some really big changes with these machines. Now, if you guys have watched the channel long enough, you'll know I've been lucky enough to actually get my hands on some RZRs here. I've done some side-by-side content with also the General, also had the Expedition and did some content around that. And it's been really, really cool. Not only that, I've had the opportunity to ride along with the RZR factory race team, and that was just absolutely mind-blowing in terms of what those machines can do. Now, I'm not going to read you all of the specs of these machines, but I am going to share with you guys some really cool features that I'm really excited for, things that I can't wait to experience here, especially in the desert, some big climate type things that'll make a big difference. So the new RZR Pro lineup is going to be the Pro XP, the Pro S, which used to be the Turbo R, and the Pro R. And they've really started separating these machines out for the purpose-built and also geographic locations that they might be utilized in. You've got the RZR Trail, the XP, and those are kind of focused on the Northeast, just kind of like trail riding type stuff. And then you start getting into the bigger machines, the more powerful machines with the Pro, and that's where you're getting into what they call the Trail Thriller, Rock Climber, wide open spaces, and dedicated duner. And that's the stuff that I've really started to enjoy, is more in the area of desert running. I haven't done the dunes yet, but I would love to go and experience that also. Maybe I'll try to take a trip out to Glamis this year and do some dune stuff, which I've never done before. That could be kind of interesting and unique. So maybe we'll make a camping trip out of a bit of a dune run. We'll see. So just running through some of the things that I saw in these press releases that I thought was worthy of conversation is, first of all, it's not just some sort of refresh where they've just added some new colors and called it a day. The way that they put it is they've changed everything that the customer touches and feels in terms of inside the cockpit, really focused on fit and finish. And you see that really quickly with the new floating sub dash that they have. It's basically a whole new manufacturing process to make things tighter. We'll see how that works in practice, assuming that maybe that's going to make things be a little bit tighter and not have as much creaking and making noises as you're riding. But I thought the old one was fine. See how the new one is. And obviously you can tell painted parts and pieces on the inside, visually more appealing, but it doesn't stop there. They actually went as far as adding in some very much appreciated, I haven't even seen it yet, but I'm sure it's going to be better than what the old experience was, some vents that are going to draw air in through the front of the vehicle, bring it down into the footwell, which I'll tell you, in Phoenix, it's 104 degrees as I'm filming this video. Last week it was 115. Those vents will be very much appreciated to get some of that air moving so you don't feel like you're just sitting in that stale air. They've also made changes. The seats, they are now heated and ventilated, at least in the front two seats, so you're going to have that experience while riding. You should be able to really dial in the comfort of at least the front two. They don't have it in the rears. That was asked at the press launch, but being able to control that for the front two occupants is going to be huge in terms of rider comfort. On top of just getting more air into the passenger compartments to keep you a little bit cooler, They also added some deflectors for the radiator so that the heat that's actually being generated off the radiator isn't going directly into the passenger footwalls as well. So it looks like a lot of attention was spent on really increasing rider comfort, and we'll see how that is in practice. On the exterior, they introduced these gull wing doors, which I think is pretty interesting. Again, be interested to see what those look like in person, but I think being able to close that cabin a little bit will probably go a long way for people who don't want to be in the dusty environments. You know, I enjoy it, but my wife and daughter may not. So be curious to see how those gull wing doors do for enclosing that space, especially in cooler riding. If you're trying to maintain a little bit of warmth in there, I would not want them myself when it's 115 degrees outside. So also interested to see how removable those are. So either way, I think it looks pretty cool and it's pretty interesting. They also added the Fang Lights back to the front. I know that was something that they had mentioned that people were asking for, so they brought the Fang Lights into the front. I think they look pretty cool, and I think that's a modification a lot of people were doing anyways, so kind of nice to see them included on the machine, and I think it helps bring the whole front end together, and in my opinion, kind of makes it look a little bit nicer, a little more finished. They've also baked in some DNA from the RZR race team, which is really cool. The Dynamics button now, you don't have to just hold it to keep the suspension firm. If you double tap it, it'll actually keep it in that firm setting, so just increased your ability to really dial in that suspension on the higher end models. And with every model year, there's going to be a bunch of new colors and a bunch of new accessories. One thing Polaris is awesome at is giving you the ability to go in and customize and build these things out and kind of build your own dream machines on the web builder. I'm going to link that in the description down below. If you're like me, you've probably already built 100 of these different kinds of RZRs and side-by-sides just in the, if I won the lottery, what would I buy type of mentality. I do it all the time, and I'm sure you guys do as well. So again, this is pretty cool stuff. I'm excited to get my hands on one at some point here. I've become a big fan of side-by-sides on this channel, and I'm still in the market for eventually getting one here that I can really modify and build out the way that I want to, but I'm still kind of just kicking tires here and seeing what's out there. It's been so fun to do that on this channel and share with you guys that experience because I've entered the side-by-side market as a complete noob, and I've just really enjoyed sharing these experiences with you guys. So if you're looking for some real nitty-gritty side-by-side commentary on these new RZRs, highly suggest you go and check out some of the esteemed journalists that I guarantee you are going to be dropping content on these new machines, and they can go through all of the specs and compare what's better and what's worse. I'm just here as a regular old guy sharing my opinions on these machines the way that I see it and the experiences that I have with them. And without you guys, none of this would be possible. So I thank you very much. So with that being said, thank you guys very much for tuning in. If this is your first time tuning in, please hit that subscribe button down below. Remember, likes go a long way to help support the channel. I will see you guys next time. Hopefully it's on one of these machines.